I'm just going to start recording. Right, we are now recording. So, good morning, everybody. Christmas is here once again. So, a few facts about Christmas food this year, because I did St. Nicholas in that last year. So, this year we're going to do food. So, Henry VIII was the first king to have turkey for Christmas. However, it didn't become popular with the rest of the population until Edward VII at the turn of the century in 1900s. Before then, we ate swan, peacock, goose, or other game meat. The Japanese, and I'm going to go to Japan one year for Christmas, they go to KFC for Christmas dinner, and they book tables in their local KFC months in advance. And in Chile, they start eating at dawn after the Christmas Mass from church. Eggnog dates back to 1607. Brussels sprouts became popular in the 1800s when the Victorians liked the idea of eating a mini cabbage on their dinner. The mince pie is symbolic of the gifts given to the baby Jesus, and the early mince pies were topped with a pastry baby Jesus. Can you imagine a pastry baby on top of your pie? And included shredded meat as original sweetmeats were used and then swapped in for suet. The Christmas pudding was a 14th century porridge called frumenty that was made of beef and mutton with raisins, currants, prunes, wines and spices. But by the 17th century, the pudding as we know it today was widely eaten. Thank the Lord for that. Today, mulled wine is a warm glass of festive cheer, and it was popularised by the Victorians. Charles Dickens wrote of a spice wine called Smoking Bishop, and later Mrs. Beeton describes using spices to mull her wine. That's got to be my favourite Christmas. So, good morning, everybody. I hope we're all right. And I'm going to move very swiftly to Julia this morning. And Julia is the owner of Adventure Geek and is recommended by Karen Ballock, who is her accountant. This morning, she will discuss the benefits of goal setting and establishing a good morning routine. Hopefully, members will gain an insight into an effective strategy for goal setting and learn the benefits of a good morning routine, which will help with both mental health and business success. Good morning, Julia.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
I thought you were going to do the GDPR thing afterwards.
No, I did that at the very beginning before I started recording.
Sorry, missed that bit. Right,
That's all right. I'll let you off.
Sorry, I was listening, honestly.
That's all right.
Right, let me just share my screen.
Yep, no problem. It's because you didn't find a Christmas hat. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
That was what let us down.
I'm
I'd have to move my beard, it's itching. Yep, I can see your screen.
So can you just see the presentation, or can you see my notes?
We can see your notes as well. So if you just stop, so if you just exit it, it should just let you present without the notes.
Hold on 1 second.
No worries.
I've got 2 screens, so bear with me a sec.
No problem.
Desk 2.
Perfect.
Now.
That's it.
Yay, that's what we like. Okie dokie. So hopefully you can all see my screen. That particular image there of me sitting on top of what Sude called a pole is actually a thing called the PCT, which is a trek that I did earlier in the year. And it's where I put my tent on my back and I travelled across the California desert with a tent for just over 700 miles. And that border just there on the left-hand side is Mexico. You can put your hand through the border and wave to Mexico. So I'm just south of San Diego there, all through the California desert. So it was one of my lifelong dreams, and I achieved that this year, which is great. So yeah, a big thank you to Karen for being my accountant, who has been a good friend as well for many, many years. I was thinking about it, I think it's probably been over 20 years since me and Karen knew each other. And she's seen me progress through various different businesses that I've had. Looking forward to Sajay's quiz as well. But today I'm going to be talking about life and how to live a life that you love. So this is like the audience participation bit. Does anybody recognise this person here on the left-hand side? I don't know if you can see.
No, I don't.
No?
No.
So, okay.
Nothing's coming up in the chat.
Okay, I can't see the chat, so it's my screen's off. I will give you a clue. It's Tiz was. She was married to Keith Chegwin
Ah, right, yeah, many moons ago.
many moons ago. I'm showing my age now. So that was Maggie Philbin. Over here on the right-hand side is a lady called Rachel Elnott from Dragon's Den. And actually her head is right in smack bang in the middle of the right place, so you can't actually see the year. But this is when I won an award, which was the Women of Worth Awards for being the most innovative businesswoman in the UK. And that was back in, I think it was 2010 when I had my recruitment agency. So just to go back, so you've got an idea of my background. So I was working in the world of recruitment for many, many years. I had my own recruitment agency. And lots of new legislation came in with, working time directive and various different other things. And things got a little bit tough in the world of recruitment. So at the time, I wanted to spend more time with my daughter. I was very much a workaholic. And I was out at the weekends doing a thing called geocaching. I don't know if we've got any geocachers in the room. And I'd take my daughter along for weekends. I said to my husband, I really want this one particular like camper van, like trailer tent thing. It just opened up like a pram and it was well cool. And he was the finance guy or the accountant within the business. The recruitment agency, and he says, Julia, you're not having your camper van or your trailer tent. You're not going to take the money out of the business. At the time, it was about £8,000. And he challenged me and he says, you can have it, but you need to raise the money yourself. So I thought at the time, what else am I good at apart from, recruitment? So then I thought about it and I knew loads of local business people doing FSB, for networking, BNI, all the networking things. I got that people together and I thought, one thing I'm really successful with is back in the days, is the early days of social media, is putting jobs onto Facebook and stuff like that and filling them overnight, just using social media. So I ran some social networking classes between January and February, the end of February, and the camping and caravan show was at the end of the February. So I had a goal of like 8 weeks. I needed to earn £1,000 a week. So I calculated it all and I'd do these local workshops. So anyway, throughout the whole of January and February, I did the workshops and it was all excellent. I got my trailer tent. I was happy. And then people started saying to me, well, when you're doing your next set of social media workshops, Julia? And that's when a second business was born, which was called Green Umbrella, which was a marketing agency. So fast forward 6 months and I sold the recruitment agency and I had a marketing agency. And I had that for just over 10 years. And I sold that literally just before COVID, mainly because I got a bit bored within the business and I was out doing some adventures. And I was training for walking the Camino de Santiago. I don't know if anyone's ever walked that particular trail. And I was putting on Facebook, hey, I'm going to go for this training hike. And then one particular adventure or one particular training hike, I had over 40 people turn up. And my husband again says, Juliet, there's no way you can lead people. You're not qualified, you're not trained. You either need to set up another business or, you just do walking for you. So that's what I did. I sold the marketing agency and I set up Adventure Geek, which is where I am now. So that's my career background in a nutshell. So that's me, Julia Doherty. But today I'm going to talk about every single business that you have or every single life journey that you're on. You always come across a crossroads. So I'm going to read a very quick story to you now, which is about two wolves. So an old Cherokee is teaching his grandson about life. A fight is going on inside me, he said to the boy. It's a terrible fight. It's between two wolves. One wolf is evil, his anger, his envy, his sorrow, his regret, his greed, and his arrogance, his lies, his false pride, his superiority, and worst of all, his ego. He continued, but the other wolf inside me is joy, his peace, his love, his serenity, his humility, his compassion, and his faith. And the same fight is going on inside you and inside every other person too. The grandson thought for a minute, and then he asked his grandfather, "Grandfather, which wolf will win the fight?" And the old Cherokee replied, "It's the one that you feed." And that's so true in life. You know, we've all got these wolves inside us and we're fighting it constantly. But whichever wolf you're feeding is the wolf that will win the fight. So throughout my career and throughout my life, there's been 3 books I'm going to talk about today. And those 3 books have been what I would call life-changing. I'm a big, big reader. The first one is called The Miracle Equation, or some people call it The Morning Miracle. It's written by a guy called Hal Elrod. I don't know if anyone in the room has actually read this book, but it's a fascinating book. And he's been through so many troubles and struggles within life. He's had cancer, he had a car accident, he's been completely skint. And his journey has just been phenomenal. He's literally just launched a reversion of it yesterday. I had an email through Audible this morning, and it's like, oh, okay, that's good timing. But one of the key fundamental things that he talks about is unwavering faith that he will succeed, and the ability to give extraordinary effort, just put in so much effort if you want to achieve certain things in life. So that's the first book. The second book is a life planning book, and I'm going to go into this in a little bit more detail. It's written by a guy called Michael Hyatt, and I will send you links for these as well. If I send them over to Caroline, if you can add them to the notes, that would be fantastic. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that.
And then you put them in the chat, and then Sue J will pick it up, and then he can email them out.
Excellent. I'll make a note, otherwise I'll forget. Links.
Right, thanks, Julia.
No worries, no problems. But the third book is called Think Like a Monk by the lovely Jay Shetty. And I actually only read this last year. It's a fairly newish book. And that one sort of, for me, has overtaken the Morning Miracle Equation with regards to morning routines. And I'm going to go into this particular book in a little bit more detail as well. So I say all of these books have been fairly life-changing for me. So let's start with the lovely Jay Shetty. So hopefully you've all heard of Jay. He's pretty famous. But he's got a thing like an analogy called time that he does for his mornings, or his morning routine. And I now embrace that particular morning routine. So I wake up every day. You might squirm at this, but I wake up every time between 4:30 and 5 o'clock in the morning, and I start my morning routine. So I use the analogy, or the TIME. So the first one is thankfulness. So I journal every single day. I haven't got my journal with me. It's in my camper van at the moment. But I journal every single morning. And part of the journaling is to say 3 things that I'm thankful for. And that's actually quite challenging once you've been doing it for a while. When you start, it's easy. It's things like, I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for hot water. I'm thankful for a daily shower. But once you've got through all the things that you think, third world people probably have not got, it's actually quite difficult to think of things that you're thankful for. So nowadays, I just reflect on what happened the previous day, and I just name 3 good things that have happened to me for the day before, and that's what works for me. So that's the T. The I, Jay calls it inspiration. I call it insightfulness. So one of the things I have to do every single morning to help me progress, which is taken from that Morning Miracle book as well, is something that's going to make me 1% better than I was yesterday, or at least, or working towards my goals. And that's something like reading a book, reading blogs, listening to a podcast, something that's helping me grow. So that's the I, and I do that as part of my Morning Miracle. M is meditation. I'm going to come on to that a little bit more as well. And E is exercise. And to be honest with you, the exercise is the easiest part for me, because I enjoy being outside, can rain or shine. Someone once said, there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing. And that is very, very true. So all of that makes up my daily routine. Bear in mind, I can't see the chat at the moment, but does anybody know who this particular person is? I can see chat just up there.
Nobody's put anything in the chat.
Okay, so if you didn't know, it's a good old Benjamin Franklin who coined the phrase early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. So yeah, each year I take myself away and I make sure that I don't drift. Anyone know who this particular person is?
Now I recognise him, but I can't tell you who he is. I
Okay,
don't recognise. I'm not very good with celebrities. I'm not really
Okay.
a celebrity
Stephen
person.
King.
well done, Sir
There you
Jay.
go.
Okay, so he's an early morning person as well. In fact, he's said this famous quote: "I wake up, I eat breakfast, I walk about 3.5 miles, I come back, I go out to my little office where I've got a manuscript, and the last page that I was happy with is on top." And that's by the famous author Stephen King. That's what he does every single day. So being outside in the fresh air is not only good for the brain, it's also good for creativity. So if you know somebody that's in a world of needing to be creative, being outside is probably one of the best things that you can do.
Can I just interject and say I always I'm more productive if I've walked to the office
There you go, or cycled.
rather
You
than
don't have to be
driven.
walking. But yeah,
Um,
absolutely. They say, I was reading about it, and they were saying that even having like plants inside your office helps with, you know, nature and helps with creativity and being productive. So it's all good. Nature's there for a reason.
That's it.
Right, on to meditation. So I use the Calm app and I use it 2 times of the day. So I meditate first thing in the morning, and only because it's easy to use. If anybody out there has used the Calm app, they've got Jay Shetty, which is that guy I was talking about, very English, and he's got a really nice, easy accent to listen to. Whereas some of the others are a bit American, and sometimes I think sometimes that can grate if you've got your earpieces in. But you will laugh. I use this as well. They have sleep stories at night. And one of them, as you were saying, Caroline, about GDPR, one of them is reading out the GDPR rules and regulations. I don't think I've actually lasted more than 10 minutes before I'm asleep of listening to that one. They've got like John McEnroe reading the tennis rules and regulations. They've got another one that's the BBC shipping broadcast. They've got some fun ones as well. So, but yeah, check that out if you haven't used that at all. That's the Calm app. I think I pay £35 a year, but you know, I use it every single day. Even when I'm out walking, I usually take the Calm app, and they've got walking meditations as well. So yeah, that's quite cool. On to the next section of the book. So that's the morning miracle side. So I wanted to talk to you about life planning as well. And this is something that I've done for many, many years, probably about 15 years or so. And the plan has changed over a period of time, but we're going to be talking about your future. As I've already said, I've used a book which has a template of a thing called Living Forward. It's by an American guy called Michael Hyatt. He's got a fantastic podcast as well. So write that name down, Michael Hyatt, if you really want to be successful in life, and listen to his podcast, because it's all about, especially if you've got staff, managing staff and things like that as well. But the life planning side of it really, really resonated with me. I started using this probably about 5 or 6 years ago, this particular system. So the first question you need to ask is, what is a life plan? So I'll tell you what it is not. It's not a financial plan. The word life plan, you think of it from financial planners. They tend to have coined that phrase. But I personally think, you know, life plan is so much more than just finances. I think finances is really important, and it's in there, but it's not necessarily the be all and end all. There's so much more to it. And I'm a big believer as well, if you don't really have a plan, then you're just drifting through life with, you know, not really knowing where you're going. A true life plan is between 5 to 15 pages, and it literally is just a document that is just for you. I update mine every year, and I have a will with a letter of trust, and my life plan gets updated and gets added to my letter of trust every year, or supplements the last year's one. So that's what I do. And it captures how you want to be remembered. And when I go through this, you'll think, okay, some of this might be quite hard if you actually wanted to do it. And your plan identifies your priorities. Sorry for reading PowerPoint. So, your life compass. That's the first thing that he talks about. And he asks you 3 questions. So those 3 questions are, question number 1 is, how do you want to be remembered? So you imagine you're sitting down and you're about to write your life plan. And the very first question is, how do you want to be remembered? And that was actually, I remember sitting the very first time I did this, I was in a place called Whittlebury Hall, which is just in Northamptonshire. It's a really nice hotel. They've got like this really quiet lounge, sitting there with my laptop. And I started writing your eulogy and my eulogy. And actually, I remember tears coming down my face thinking, God, this is a bit depressing. But actually, it's quite nice to know where you want to end up and know how people are going to be thinking of you. So the idea is you visualize the people that you love, and you visualize them standing up and saying things and saying their stories about you, and what would they say? And that's how you start your life plan, is you start at the end and then you work backwards from there. So that's like question number 1. Question number 2, it gets you to think about what matters most. Maybe you've never given yourself permission to ask this question. What's important to you? What matters most in your life? And it's a question about priorities, and no one else can decide what they are. And he talks about life accounts, and setting up perhaps 10 life accounts. I've actually got 9 life accounts. I'm just going to read those out for you just to give you an idea of what these life accounts are.
Can I just interrupt, Julia? How many questions is there? Because time's moving swiftly on, I'm afraid.
Okay, so I've got 3 questions.
As it is. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, carry on.
No
Sorry.
worries. That's all right. I thought I had 20 minutes on this. So that's cool. Okay, so what matters most? And that's your second question. So for me, it's things like health, adventure and travel, my daughter, close family, friends, work, and finances. And then the third question is probably the most important question, is, does your future have what we call pulling power? So after you've done your life accounts, you take each life account and then you talk about your envisioned future. You've got to be real. What's your current reality with that? So for example, my life account is health. My vision future, I can imagine me being 80 years old, walking out the door in the morning, and just going down by the seaside onto the beach for a walk. That's my vision future. How is my health currently? So, do I do things like brush my teeth? Have I got to go into the dentist? Do I eat healthily? Have I got good exercise? And then you make specific commitments for each date to achieve that particular goal. And then the third question is all about optimizing your health. Hold on, done that wrong. So optimizing airlines. It's like when you're in an airplane and they give out their health and safety thing, and the woman puts on the face mask and then she says, you need to get oxygen into you first before you can actually help each others. So I just want to say that, the health thing, the life accounts that you do are not necessarily always about other people. So yes, family and friends are important, but you need to put yourself first. So self-care is really important. So your own health, your own well-being. So I've got adventure and travels right at the top before I've got my daughter, because I know that's what makes me healthy and feeds my soul and makes me be a good mum, because I am who I am.
Angela's got mucking out horses for 2 hours every morning at 6:30.
Absolutely love it. I love that one. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to talk about was the law of diminishing intent. And it says the longer you wait to take action, the less likely you will be to take it. So what I mean by that is, don't wait for things to happen. Act as soon as you feel a flutter of excitement, and as soon as you feel that something, you really want to do something. The longer you wait for something to happen, the less likely you are to achieve it. So act now. So I'm talking to you about a life plan now. If that's something you think, yeah, that's something I'd like to do, then just put some dates in your diary, perhaps in between Christmas and New Year, where you're going to do it. Otherwise, it will just be one of those other things that you just never get round to doing. So as I said, one of my goals was when I reached 50, which was smack bang in the middle of COVID, I decided that life was passing me by. And one of my dreams was to hike the PCT, which is the Pacific Crest Trail, whilst raising money for Shout, which is a mental health charity. On the 17th of April 2023, I took my first steps as a solo hiker across the California desert. I had rattlesnakes, tarantulas, scorpions, and just a tent on my back with various other provisions. Little did I know how life-changing this epic adventure would be for me. But that's a tale for another day, and I thank you all for listening. Ta-da!
Thank you. We have a few comments. Early morning exercise is good for mental health. Exercise in late morning or afternoons not as good, according to Ian. Ian used to walk 9 miles round trip to his office.
9 miles?
9 miles, yeah.
That's
So,
brilliant.
yeah. Thank you very much, Julia. Very insightful. And I've wrote a few notes myself. I shall get to them books. So yeah, sorry I had to interrupt, but time is moving swiftly on.
I get that. No worries. Thank you very much for listening.
All right, thank you. And Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Cheers. Apparently I'm going to stay on for the quiz if that's okay.
Pardon?
I'm going to stay on for the quiz if that's okay.
Yeah, if you could just stop sharing your screen now, that would be really good.
There you go.
Thank you. And I'm looking for Kerry now. I can't see Kerry.
I'm here.
Oh, you're there. Hello, you're in your little glass bubble.
I am. I'm in the glass cube.
I love that little glass bubble. How are you? You all right?
All good, thank you. Thank you very much, Julia. I've made so many notes. That was really insightful. So I'm just going to share a few HMRC bits, and then we'll go on to the fun that Sujay has for us today. So a couple of key things. You would have all heard the autumn statement, I'm sure. It's got a few key points that's going to come into force quite quickly. So the first one is that the employee national insurance is reducing from 12% to 10% from the 6th of January. So any payrolls that you run after the 6th of January needs to be this with the new NI rate. Now, most of the softwares, I know the ones that I've been doing already for the payrolls in December, have actually got notifications that there's updates available and to download the latest one. So just make sure that you're checking that before running those payrolls on the 6th of January. National minimum wage is increasing from April to £11.44, and that's now from age 21, whereas it was always from age 23 to get the higher tier. So that's going to increase the salaries of quite a significant number of people. So start talking to your the employers that you look after now to give them that heads up, because that's going to, of course, increase their overheads, and they need to start planning that. Class 2 national insurance has been abolished from April as well, so obviously have a look at that. And making tax digital for ITSA, I've been involved in quite a few of these co-creation. I know it's a word, bit of a swear word, we don't, but it is happening. We can't change it. It's mandated now for April 2026 for the 50k income stream. There is, from January, you're going to see a lot of publications from HMRC around this. The roadmap, the simplified roadmap has already been shared by the government. I'm just going to put a little PDF in the chat actually as to that. Because there will be some testing that they're going to need to happen. So as soon as we have that process, at probably February time, when we come on the coffee morning, I'll have more information about how you can get involved to get some of your clients testing that. They are going to rely on
PDF to Sujay as well, and ask him to send it around via email, because people that watch it on catch up don't see the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the simplified roadmap is in the chat, so Sujay, you can send it around for marketing, and that is what's actually been published at the moment with the key dates, and you'll start to see a lot more information coming out from January 24 about this. And then the December employer bulletin has also just come out, which has a few of the things from the autumn statement on it. But as always, it's just having the time to read it. So I'm just going to again put the link in the chat. But if you Google, for those that are listening, December employer bulletin, then it will come up from the gov.uk page. But that's in the chat as well. So again, just take some time to read that. But I'll keep it short and sweet for now. And that's me for this session today.
Thank you very much. And just before we go to Sujay and his magical Christmas quiz, I just want to say, if anybody would like to be an ambassador or join an ambassador group, please contact Ali. And also, I want to give a little bit of a round of applause to Jen and her group, because they're having a meeting today at midday, and it's 3 years since their group was set up. So well done, Jen and Jen's group. Oh yeah, I can't see you, Jen, but yeah, very well done.
Well
So,
done.
thank you, Kerry, for that, by the way. Moving swiftly on, Sujay.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I hope you guys are all excited like we are. Let me just get my Christmas hat on.
Can't wait. Oh, stunning.
Cool.
Beautiful
So
hat.
how it's going to work is like all technology, if there are any issues, I've got a little contingency plan. But in a second, I'll share my screen and you can just go over to the Slido website. You should have had details from myself and Sam. We sent an email around not long ago, but I will share my screen in a second and show you the website that you need. It is multiple choice with some like yes or no questions and clicky things. So yeah, just partake. Now, prize-wise, the first prize will be a Christmas hamper. The second prize will be a beverage of your choice. And the third prize will be a box of chocolates. So yeah, feel free to play. Everyone can play. We're happy for IAB staff members to play as well, but obviously you probably won't get the prize. But more than happy if everyone wants to take part. Gillian and Janet, you can't have the prize. Cool. So I am just
win.
What was that? Sorry.
I said you can play, but you can't win.
Exactly. So I am gonna share my screen. I won't be able to see you guys because I'm only using one screen today. I'm in the office. So if you can just let me know if you can see my screen, please.
Yes, we can. Slido.com.
Yes, please. And then you'll get a code that you just need to enter. So I'll read it out for those of you who might be using one screen. So if you just go to Slido, slido.com and pop in the joining number, which is 2375355. So again, that's 2375355.
Can I just say that if you're watching this on catch up, you can't join in? That seems a bit obvious, but they say it on I'm a Celebrity, so I'm going to say it this morning.
Caroline, can you let me know when you're in, and then we'll make the start promptly after that. Just confirm that you're in and everything's okay.
Sorry, I scanned the code and it took me to a survey.
Survey. No, if you just go to slido.com.
Ah, yeah, I'm in now.
Yeah,
IAB
okay, perfect.
Christmas quiz.
Cool. So I'm hoping everyone is in. I'll just wait a couple more seconds and then we'll make a start. Is anyone having any issues? If you are, please do feel free to mute yourself and let us know.
Okay, there we go. 237535.
No, there's nothing in the chat to say that anybody's having a problem.
Perfect. Let's make a start.
Julie's put some links in for the book, Karma, Miracle Equation, Living Forward, Living Like a Monk by Jay Shetty.
No,
So yeah,
worries.
I think we're all ready, Sujay.
Let's kick off. Cool. So we have already joined the quiz. Now let's start the quiz. So I just need to move you guys, sorry. So Sarah's job role is changing in the new year. What is Sarah going to be stepping into? You've got 21 seconds. So is she going to be on new CFO?
I know.
CEO? CRO or CMO? What role is Sarah stepping into?
Oh, I'm not in properly yet.
7 seconds, Caroline. 5, 4.
Why have I got such a long name?
I can't see it either.
I had to tap my name in.
You can't.
50% got it.
Good job. Good job, Mohammed. You won that one.
I can't see the questions.
Have you
Oh,
finished? Have
okay,
you put your
I
name
need
in? I had to put my name in and then go. Can we just
Okay,
wait a
so-
minute, Sujay? Because I
Of
got
course, yeah, I'll stop it.
153 participants.
Oh, okay. I've got to put my name in, have I?
Yeah, put your name in.
We'll start it again. Sorry,
just
everyone
gonna
knows the
mute
answer to
you
the first
again,
question
Shaz.
now. But we'll start again. Is everyone in? Are we in?
I think so.
Okay, I'm gonna make a start now. Okay.
Right.
So let's go. Sorry. So Sarah's job role is changing. What is Sarah stepping into in the new year? Your options are CFO, CEO, CRO, or CMO. You've got 20 seconds. I'm sure everyone knows the answer now because we've been through this one, but it's fine. So one role is
There's something wrong if you get this one wrong.
into.
Oh, what fun. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together.
Perfect. So yeah, Sarah, I don't know who still selected CFO considering we just had the question, but yeah, Sarah is going to be our new CEO from the new year. We're all super excited. And next question. Okay, so far Natasha is winning. The next question. So if you sign up to Pixie, one of our member benefits, how many months of the software do you get for free? So do you get 1, 2, 3, or 4? Pixie, member benefit, amazing software for practice management. How many months do you get for free? 1, 2, 3, or 4. You've got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. So the answer is 3, and we've got quite a lot of people that have selected 3. Perfect. Great. So Sarah and Tom ran a marathon this year. Which city did they run it in? Was it New York? Was it London? Was it Paris or Milan? Where did Sarah and Tom run the marathon? Not long ago, actually. Was it New York? Was it London? Was it Paris? Or was it Milan? You've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So the answer was obviously in New York. Well done for those of you who got that right. Our office dog, Poker. So there was posters of Poker on the IAB LinkedIn post the other day. What type of dog is Poker? Is she a French Bulldog? Is she a Dalmatian? Is she a Pug? Or is she a Cockapoo? Carolyn, did you have a question?
No.
What type of
I messed
office
with my screen and then I lost the screen and then I've got the
Okay.
screen back that I wanted, so no.
Cool. So Poker is Poker is actually a beautiful Dalmatian. So yeah, Dalmatian was the right answer. Perfect. Now, Janet. Janet is obviously relinquishing her CEO role, and Janet is moving into a new role from the new year as well. So what role is Janet going to be stepping into? Is she going to be our Chief People Officer? Is she going to be our CFO? Is Janet going to be Global President for Business Development? Or is Janet going to be the Global President of the IAB Group? You have got 8 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Cool. So
It'd be funny if Janet got that wrong.
So as you all should be aware, Janet is going to be our global president of the IAB group, which involves a lot of travel. Janet, do you want to say a quick few words about the new role?
Yes.
Sorry to put you on the
Well,
spot.
I just did a very long trip to Beijing and around Malaysia and Hong Kong and Singapore, and then ended up in Dubai. So I was away for a month. So I did quite a lot of starter of it already. So really looking to grow us in the in those regions. So I'm kind of really looking forward to that. We've signed some MOUs with the Malaysian government, the education department, and the one in Macau as well. So hopefully it will give us more presence out there, and long may we grow and continue.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Perfect. Next question. Can you please pick 2 of the charities that IAB sponsors? So please pick 2. Your options are NSPCC, the Skype Trust, NSPCA, or the Book for Karma Foundation. So please select 2 answers for the 2 charities that IAB sponsors. These are the charities that Tom and Sarah ran for, and we raised a good amount of money. So thank you so much for everyone that's donated. So yeah, please select 2 of the answers. Perfect. So we had a good little, so the answers were the Skype Trust and the Book for Karma Foundation for that question. Now, we were proud to launch our fantastic new AML Complete software this year, but what month did it go live? Was it May, June, July, or August? AML Complete. We launched this year. Which month did it go live? May, June, July, or August? You got 10 seconds. So which month did it go live? May, June, July, or August? June was the right answer. So yeah, good job to 44% of you. Perfect. So this year we celebrated our 100th anniversary. True or false? This year we celebrated our 100th anniversary. Is that true or is that false? You've got 15 seconds. So yeah, the IB celebrated its 100th anniversary this year. True or false? 5 seconds. Perfect. Yeah, the answer is obviously false. It was the 50th anniversary that we celebrated this year, not our 100th. Cool. So in the last magazine, Sarah wrote an article around pricing. Which of these key themes did Sarah identify? Please tick all that apply. So yeah, please tick any that do apply. So was it fixed fee? Was it monthly retainer? Was it value-based, or was it contingent? So which of these 4, if any, did Sarah write about in the magazine article? Please tick your answers now. Great. So it was actually all 4. So if you haven't read it, please do refer back to the magazine. It was a great article. But yeah, it was all 4 that Sarah wrote about in the article. Nikki, Sam, and I attended our first event this year together. Which event did we attend? It was just after I started, actually. 4 months have flown by, but yeah, it was just after I started. Was it Accountex North, Accountex London, Xerocon, or GQ's Men of the Year? Which event did we attend together? It was
Sam and Nikki go to GQ's Men of the Year.
Yes, they did.
Did they?
Which one did we attend together? They didn't actually. I wish.
I bet they did.
But yeah, the answer was actually Accountex North. We went to Manchester. It was a fun 2 days. Janet came down as well. So yeah, we had a little bit of fun there. It was good. Now, Sam and Nikki went to the event a couple of months ago, and they got to sit next to one of the famous faces from TV. Was it Kim Kardashian that they were with? Was it Ben Shepherd, Mila Kunis, or Marvin Humes? I think it was the CIPP conference they went to. So yeah, who did they sit next to?
I thought it was none of them.
They actually sat with Ben Shepherd. Honestly, Sam was so excited. She was like texting me as soon as she found out she was sat next to him. I cannot tell you how excited she was. She absolutely loved it. It like made her year. But it was Ben Shepherd. Perfect. So we recently hired Mike Donald at the IAB. But what is Mike's role? Is he our Chief Fund Officer, our Chief Sales Officer, Chief Examiner, or Chief Accountant? What is Mike's new role? Got 15 seconds. There was a post that went out a couple of days ago, actually. So hopefully quite a lot of you have seen it. We recently just hired Mike. So let's see what people have put. Quite a lot of Chief Sales Officer, but no, the answer is Mike is our new Chief Examiner. How many ghosts are there in A Christmas Carol? I thought I'd put in some Christmassy questions. I didn't want to make it all IB related, so I put a few in at the end. But how many ghosts are there in A Christmas Carol? Is it 2, 4, 6, or 8? How many ghosts are in A Christmas Carol? Got 10 seconds. Is it 2, 4, 6, or 8? Perfect. The answer is, yeah, well done to quite a lot of you. The answer is 4. There are 4 ghosts in A Christmas Carol.
You think of 3 straight away, don't you?
Yeah, I thought of 3 when I was putting the questions together. What words follow Silent Night in the Silent Night song? Is it Coldy Night, Silent Night, Bright Light, Holy Night? What words follow Silent Night in the Silent Night song? You got 10 seconds. 9, 8. What words follow Silent Night in the Silent Night song? Oh, good job. Yeah, Holy Night. Quite a lot of you got that correct. Perfect. So what does the A in IAB stand for? Is it accountants, audit, association, or assets? The A in IAB, what does it stand for? Accountants, audit, association, or assets? Accountants, audit, association, or assets. What does the A stand for in IAB? 5 seconds. Let's see. Good job. Yes, it is accountants is what the A stands for. And the last question. Which company was the first to use Santa Claus in their advertising? Was it John Lewis? Was it KPMG? Was it Coca-Cola? Or was it Marks and Spencer's? What was the first company to use Santa Claus in their advertising? John Lewis, KPMG, Coca-Cola, or Marks and Spencer's? 10 seconds, last question. Perfect. We are done. So the answer was actually Coca-Cola. It's like my favorite advert of the year. Perfect. Thank you so much. Let's see who has won. Good job to Shaz. I'm very excited. Janet and Gillian, sadly, you can't win. I assume CEO is Sarah. Sarah, was that you? Sarah?
Yeah, that was Sarah. She gave me a thumbs up.
Sorry,
No worries.
I filled out the first question wrongly, but yes, it is still me, or nearly me.
Perfect. And then we've got Catherine.
How many times were you having Sarah? Because have you got CEO and Sarah?
Catherine, I need you to just send me, I'm not sure obviously your surname because it just says Catherine. So if you just message me with your surname, please, whoever's just put Catherine, and we'll get prizes organized for Shaz, Catherine, and Caroline. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop sharing and pass to Sarah to say a few words about Sarah's new role stepping in from January, if that's okay. So to put you on the spot.
So, yeah, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Big shoes to fill, but I'm very glad that Janet's still here. So our double act will still continue. So, but yes, very much looking forward to it. We have a fabulous team, lots planned for next year. So yeah, thank you. I'm looking forward to representing you all going forward.
Can I just say, Sujay, it's Catherine Dow.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's fine. I'll make a
2
note.
seconds.
Yep, and we will.
Well done, Shaz. Well done, Catherine. Well done, everybody else that took part.
Yeah, thank you so much all for taking part. I hope you enjoyed it.
And it's nice to know that Janet came up there.
We're just upset. You're going to get beaten up. You know that, Susie.
You've got to buy us a prize now.
I think you deserve one as well, Janet.
Thank you,
I
Caroline.
think you should buy you both bottles of champagne.
Oh.
Go on, Sue.
We'll see.
Brilliant, Susie. That was really enjoyable. It was good fun.
Yeah, it's good.
Good. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. If that's it, I can give you 7 minutes back in your day.
Is that it? Sarah, Janet, anybody? Anything else to add?
Just to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I hope you all have a wonderful time and get a little bit of break before it hits silly season for you all to do tax returns. So try and forget about it for a few days and enjoy yourself. Merry Christmas, everybody, and see you all in the new year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, happy Christmas to everyone. Enjoy.
17th of January, we're back.
Yeah.
So I'm back to normal. And yeah, I'm sure we will announce guest speakers closer to the time. But yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody. If you don't celebrate Christmas, Merry holidays, happy holidays.
Yeah.
And yeah, enjoy some time off.
Yes, we shall see you all in the new year.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy
Merry
New Year.
Christmas.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.